Welcome back to America Needs Fatima's series on the angels. While their abilities are extraordinary, even more sublime is their mission. Come with me as I explore the mysteries surrounding God's most faithful ministers, the admirable creatures we call the angels. In today's installment of the Angel series, we explore the struggle between light and darkness and good and evil, as seen in the mystical visions of Venerable Sister Maria of Agreda, who remains incorrupt to this day. At the beginning of creation, there was a great war in heaven. In the opening verses of the book of Genesis, we encountered the foundational narrative of creation. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. The Genesis account tells us that when God created the earth, it was void and empty, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. But in contrast to this void, God said, "Let there be light," and light was made. Within this declaration lies the creation of the angels. Unlike the earth, which was void, the heavens were not described similarly, indicating that the angels were created instantaneously. The very moment God uttered, "Let there be light," the angels came into existence. They were formed in the fullness of grace, endowed with divine knowledge, and destined to be the celestial bearers of God's light. Now, as you know, God gave the angels a test. Although everything happened instantly, Sister Maria de Agreda reveals this was a three-part test. The first part of the test was when God created the angels. He revealed to them two roads: the way of life versus the way of death, good versus evil, and truth versus falsehood. And in all justice, he showed them the consequences of their choice, which would either reward them with eternal heaven or punish them with eternal hell. Because of their angelic nature, they saw everything clearly and knew that if they fell from grace, hell would be their place of chastisement. And so, in the first part of the test, God commanded the angels to acknowledge and adore him, their creator and sovereign. Their angelic minds fully comprehended the rationality of this. All angels obeyed this, but the eternal loser, Lucifer, obeyed more out of compulsion because he saw no other option, not because of pure love or admiration of God. This put Lucifer in danger of falling. Lucifer, despite being an angel, was a fool. He did not realize that adoration of God is one of the most beautiful things any creature in the universe can do. The ability to adore him is one of God's great gifts to us. We should all practice the adoration of our Lord more often, especially the adoration that occurs during the Catholic Mass. Unfortunately, the reality is that some of us are unable to attend Mass as often as we would like. This is why America Needs Fatima partnered with a local Catholic priest who offers a full Catholic Mass every day for anyone who joins our Child of Mary program.
Special intention for our liturgy today, for our Mass, America Needs Fatima's Children of Mary. And especially we offer this Divine Liturgy for Lucy Cosgrove, for Matthew Long, for Mary Wyman, for Lisa Gibson.
If you are unable to attend Mass in person as often as you would like, but want the graces a daily Mass brings, consider joining our Child of Mary group. One of the gifts you will receive as a Child of Mary is having a daily Mass prayed for you and any intentions you send us. As soon as you sign up to become a Child of Mary, you will receive a subscription to Crusade magazine, a beautiful metal lapel pin featuring the image of the pilgrim statue of Our Lady, and most importantly, your name and intentions will be sent immediately to Father Jerry, who will offer a full Catholic Mass for you every morning, 365 days a year. Click the link in the description below to sign up today. Okay, back to Lucifer and his disobedience. But what was Lucifer's motive? Why did he fall from grace even after learning his impending punishment? Sister Maria describes his motive as disordered egomaniacal self-love. So, in this first part of the test, Lucifer fulfilled God's precepts, but imperfectly. He did so with a non-total love, a diminished love, a love that was less than what was expected from him as the highest angel. In the second part of the test, Lucifer gets himself into an even deeper and more serious situation and drags other angels down with him. In the second instant of the angelic probation, God declared he would create mankind, and the eternal Word would become man, and he would be above the angels. The angels were made to understand that they and all the rest of the creatures had been created for his glory and that he would be their head. All those who praised and glorified God were to be the people of the Son of God. At once, the good angels submitted themselves to this truth, but the eternal loser became envious and prideful. He refused to venerate. He resisted and tempted the other would-be fallen angels to revolt likewise. Lucifer persuaded them that he would be their chief and set up a government independent from Christ. His blindness was caused by envy and pride and caused the contagion of sin that spread among many other angels. Earlier, I questioned, what was Lucifer's motive in disobeying God? As mentioned before, his self-love was so disordered that it caused him to sin. But there is one other primary motivation that urged Lucifer to sin. In the second part of this episode, we'll continue where we left off, exploring Lucifer's second motivation and the third part of the test given by God to the angels. But before I leave you, I'll remind you why the division of the angels is so important. Their division into good and fallen emphasizes a profound struggle transcending the physical world. This battle is spiritual and ongoing. The good angels serve as warriors of light, protectors of God's creation, and guardians of humanity. The fallen angels, now demons, literally those who operate in the background, actively seek to lead humanity astray and away from God's light. Just as the angels engage in this eternal battle, humanity must make choices for that determine our alignment with the forces of light or darkness, truth and error, good and evil, and beauty and ugliness. As Catholics, we are called to follow the path of light, grace, and goodness, aligning ourselves with the good angels obedient to God's will. Just as angels play a pivotal role in the heavenly battle, we, too, have a role to play. We must make choices and take actions that lead us towards the light and goodness, recognizing that our actions or inactions have consequences in our lives, the direction of history, and the spiritual realm. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and return for part 2 as I discover and share the rest of this story and as we answer the question, why would Lucifer, made by God as the highest of the angels, decide to fall from grace and become the eternal loser?
We want your soul to receive as many graces as possible. Consider joining our special Child of Mary group. We have a full Catholic Mass prayed every day for each and every one of our children of Mary. Click your screen now to have a daily Mass prayed in your name.